shut up, honeymoon. I'm kidding. One minute, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and welcome back to another episode of... Greetings everyone, it is I, Lord Thanatos, and today I'm going to watch the movie for which I was a huge part. I'm using the whole Thanatos VA. Oh wait, that was what I was going to do, wasn't it? I was going to put Thanatos VA in the title and forgot about that. Because I did that last time, it was the whole, like, Secrets of the Plex thing and yada yada, so... Oh well, forgot about that. Not really a problem. What I haven't forgot about is what happened last time, because while I was in Portugal today, I actually rewatched the movie just to once again remember like where we got up to in the actual story. Because I know that I was part of this, like I wrote the part of the script and everything, and did all my usual stuff. But it has been a while, so sometimes it is just useful to go back and remind yourself, even the stuff that you yourself have been a component in. But anyway, not that that would have been a major concern, because today we have the person here who will clarify anyone's doubts and has been answering questions from some people in this stream for a number of years now. So, our usual guest, Aiden the Best.
Hello. Yes, the movie Part 2 came out yesterday, which is Part 2 is the rest of Act 2. It's not... Technically, there was the final scene of the previous part was actually the first scene of Act 2, but
That's just the cutoff point then.
It's just what I had made up to that point. I've been sitting on that stuff for like months at that point. I'm like, I kind of want to get content out, so here you go, guys. I'm gonna cut the movie in parts. So I cut Part 2 into, so I'm making it a 3-parter movie.
I do remember that I think you released Part 1 roughly around the same time that...
it was a week after Episode 8, I think, came out, or...
Whichever one had the first
Episode
animation
9.
from... the one that had the animation from Bon, and the one that was getting your channel a lot of traction as a result of said animation.
Yeah.
So you wanted to strike while the iron was hot, understandable. Although yeah, again, if I were in that situation, I probably would have like split it up so that you would have the, like, even if you had the scene prepared, keep that part and then release it some other time. It's kind of like how by the time that I did the season 1 compilation of Mutant Girl, bingo for Bond there, I guess. Everyone season 2 episode 1 had already been released, but I didn't include it because it was like, okay, I'm not gonna do everything that's thus far here because it's not a conclusive video. Not to say that it didn't work, because that scene at the end there, which, to remind people, was a scene of Abraxas witnessing someone starve to death and be ignored by a person who would later go on to model for Curious George.
My random background character designs are peak, guys. They're the best, random designs that I make.
Yeah. So I witnessed that, and then the person seemed to be like slowly, fading away on the spot. I was gonna say somewhat to mirror like Adam's reaction to this stuff, but actually we already had a scene that mirrors Adam that was part of the montage as well. So, but either way, to further, I guess, extend that, and that kind of works. That kind of works at the end. There's like a cliffhanger, but also probably like. It might have done better here as the opening for the continuation, if it indeed continues in the same way that I remember it to, and I guess we're about to find out if it does or doesn't right now. So without further ado, on with the review. Let's run that for a second. There we go.
Yes, Abraxas. What did you want to discuss?
The idea of death.
Come again?
Come again.
Without that, you actually, if someone watched this and didn't watch the first part, they just have like, okay, just have a random person talking about death now. It doesn't really quite flow exactly.
These
it's part 2. I would kind of hope they would at least go back.
Yeah,
and
no,
watch part one,
that is true. Yeah, and they're more likely to do so. That's why I like numbered episodes, because people have an incentive to go back and watch the original one.
Yeah, which I think numbering episodes or numbering parts is good, because sometimes when people don't number parts in a story arc, it gets really confusing. You gotta have some indicator of how you're going to how it's meant to be watched. You may not choose to watch it properly, but at least the indicator of, hey, if you're watching this now, this is not technically how you're supposed to initially watch it normally.
Yeah, weirdly enough, Totally TV stopped doing that at some point due to Super Pops, actually.
They just had random episodes?
Well, they were still in order, but they just weren't labeled as that. So they had like a full playlist you could watch them in. I think the reason they stopped doing that is because when you have the numbered episodes, the double-edged sword is that
people think it's a lot more intense.
No, that's not it. That the double-edged sword, I think, is that when you see a numbered episode, it's like, oh yeah, season 4, episode whatever. Then you'll end up with a situation where you've clicked on the video, but then you immediately click away from it, and then because of that, YouTube is gonna think, okay, that's not a good video, so it's gonna tank the click-through rate. I think that's why they stopped doing that. I still prefer the numbered one just for the sake of, especially for like our content, the way that people have watched our Gacha videos specifically. I feel like it works better for us than it probably does for them. But yeah, if we're looking at what I think anyone guess what I'm writing more for, I'm gonna guess Pretty Q Elemental.
I've seen cruel and heartless deaths happen to innocent people. I was thinking we could slowly remove the idea of death.
I was thinking.
If you listen to this with your eyes,
you're not supposed to think.
I don't pay you to think.
You don't pay me at all.
Allow you to live to think. That's a DBZA reference. No, I will say, if you listen to Abraxas' lines with your eyes closed for whatever reason, it still feels like he's doing his particular like Puckasaur's doing the villain voice, the one where everything's like a very calculated thing, and it's almost like, this is all part of my plan, but you won't know until the end. But I am very smooth because I'm in control constantly, rather than, I'm extremely worried about what's happening in this situation. I would urge you to reconsider being the meek and timid person that I am.
That is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Death is important. To remove death is to alter life as we know it.
To be fair, saying to the personification of death, remove death, that's
remove yourself from the situation. Yeah. What do you mean you don't like that idea? Aren't you stupid?
Cast off these terrible notions and do your job.
Yes, sir.
Ooh, new angels made straight from the factory.
All walking in unison. Made straight from the...
Can you believe Thanatos just...
Like how it fades up and he's still going... Can you believe Thanatos? Just need to have like a little bit of a thing there with his mouth closed first, then do the... Anyway. This week I'm fixing the scene where Hazel and Hannah meet Sarah, aka our Fire Elemental, aka somehow the most calm out of our main girls. You know something? In Witch the series, Tarani, who is the possessor of fire, that she actually starts off as very extremely shy and timid. And that's and also very like afraid, which is a great contrast to her powers. Eventually, she does actually like play into that, and as she and we find out later on that she has like a lot of like pent up, literally like burning anger inside sometimes that can that will manifest when threatened, or someone that she cares about, that kind of thing, hero stuff.
Oh, kind of like Raven with her powers being attached to her emotions.
Yeah. Also, we find out like a long way into the series that apparently she used to dance, and then ends up joining like the new dance academy in the school, and that's part of the the fire and energy from within her. So yeah, I think she's probably had the most like transformation as far as as far as like her actual character throughout, because the other ones like they have a little bit, but they stay like mostly the same as each other. But yeah, I think somehow, and also and also Tarani ends up somehow like having like a very rebellious phase like against her mother as well at some point.
Dang.
Very interesting, yeah. But that's probably a lot to do with like, you know, the fire within.
Shut me down!
Yeah, whatever. Look, we really
They don't
need
care.
Yeah. All these trainees are so much work between the training and the complaints.
I know, right?
Are you guys even paying attention to me?
Sorry, brother.
Pay,
but
pay,
we need to get
pay.
back to work.
Pay attention to
Seriously?
me.
You can't tell me managing all these new angels hasn't been a hassle for you as well.
True.
I do get
But
it.
I don't know what to do about everything. I feel like I'm not even being heard out.
We went to the personification of death itself and asked him to abolish death as we know
There
it.
we go.
What were you expecting to happen?
I forgot that line was in here. Alright,
Listen.
chat trying to play Aiden line or Jacob line.
We love sassy Castiel though. Castiel is a king. He's the king of sass.
That is true. I still remember like the brutal takedown that he gave to Key, just when she just made her seem like completely insane, which she would eventually become, but you know, not
Not
yet. Probably as a result of that conversation, actually.
Besides, it's not like you can do anything about it.
Come now, brothers. Let's help some angels.
We flying away.
I love the structure of this, where Thanatos thinks that, you know, he needs needs help, then suddenly realizes that like the head angels are spread too thin, so he gives them some management. Then the head angels are like, oh, we need someone else to help us manage, you know,
We need even more help to
the new
manage
influx of
things.
angels. Yeah. I see Mr. Spiky Hair thing and think of those twin brothers from Mutant Girl. I forgot their names. Liam and Brian are their names.
Greetings, my angels. Today I have a grand announcement. I'm hosting the Angel Games to pick
Ooh,
the first
the
few
werewolf games.
Archangels.
I was thinking reindeer games, but yes, that works. That's better.
Angel games? Archangels?
Do you like it becomes like a little bit of a murmur that's going on in the background? Like
Yeah.
last episode, that last part had very, very awkward clapping. That was extremely slow.
Yeah, that's part I think. So I think I still struggle with clapping. So,
fair
you know, but okay. So as far as murmuring goes, there's a whole handful of people in here. You can't tell KW as much, but there's KW, Nova, Phantom, and me are all contributing to murmur. You can't really tell KW too much, but you can mostly. You could like make out on occasion Nova, and you can make out on occasion Phantom, and on occasion me. So it depends.
Yeah, I think Phantom's the one that can make out the most, actually.
Yeah, I recorded this when I was sick. My voice still hurt. I still record this.
Yeah. Well, that is a very Aphmau thing to do.
You must be
Gareth, Dante, Lawrence.
wondering, what is an Archangel? Or rather, what an Archangel will be? Well, given the overwhelming task of
By the way, the way that he's wielding his scythe around makes me extremely nervous, even though I know that he doesn't have like a...
He's fine.
I mean, I know that he's immortal, can heal himself, but my goodness, that thing's moving around really, really quickly, close to his wings. Oh no.
He just regrow the wings, I think. He's immortal, he's fine.
We've never had that situation, but I presume yes, because you did give them healing powers. So
You
I'm
know,
guessing,
also,
yeah.
by the way, canonically speaking, the scythe could do permanent damage to an angel's form. That's Lord.
Not his
Well-
form, I hope.
Not his form, because he's a god, not technically an angel.
Yeah,
But
okay, fair.
like an actual angel, like his scythe could genuinely do like permanent damage, permanent scarring to his form.
The head and just like take a very cautious step back from him.
So like, oh god, not your scythe again. Please get that away from us. My left cheek has a small slice on it because of you.
Yeah. Honestly, greetings, angels. Sounds a bit like a greeting that a YouTuber could use. Honestly, Aiden could use that one, considering this whole like, angel binding on the channel.
Greeting my angels. My name is Thanatos, and today we're playing Minecraft.
Well, you wouldn't call yourself Thanatos. It'd be more like greetings, angels, and the best here, and then today.
No, I know. I was joking about Thanatos having a gaming channel where he plays Minecraft. That's what happens in the Butterverse. All the Greek gods get exposed. Thanatos just starts a gaming channel somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm taking a break from like reaping souls today, so today I am going to be recording next episode of my Minecraft Let's Play.
Are you kidding me? That skeleton came out of nowhere. I was busy building a bridge across a ravine. I've lost all of my items now.
Organization placed upon the head angels, I decided to make a rank above angels, but below head angels, called Archangel, that those adept with leadership.
This picturing Thanatos twirling his scythe around. I mean, you saw like the pose that he was in before, where he like had his hand extended like this, and the scythe was balanced here. He's almost doing scythe tricks with it, like unintentionally.
And
but also, I will say, because as somebody who has wielded a scythe around on stage before, it's one of the things that is good to get used to. That's one of the reasons why I like carried a broom everywhere before I got like the scythe made, because it was like in the prop storage.
Burn the witch.
Yeah, so I used the broom whatever because I wanted to get used to the feeling of having the scythe like carried with me, so I knew what to do with my hands when the time came. So yeah, that was part of the idea. So I wouldn't be so fidgety.
Prowess can ascend to.
Wow, this is interesting. Listen, murmuring. I'm really good at murmuring. Okay.
No, it's just the fact that like you're the only person I could hear at that point. So it sounds like there's one person just being like, "Wow, this giving," like no one else picked up on like the murmur afterwards. That's the problem. Is everyone else, not you, in this situation. That just has stage fright. He's always fidgeting with his scythe.
Hello, my angels. If you heckle me, I will kill you all.
Greetings, angels. Today I'd... What was my line? What was my line? Oh no! Someone help! What was my line?
Abraxas is like, today I have an announcement for you all. Looks back at Abraxas.
I have an announcement. Oh no, my scythe! The show must go on. The show must go on. I'm sweating everywhere. People can see that. People can see the sweat.
Do gods sweat?
I don't think so. I'm just.
So that'd be like, do gods sweat canonically?
I'm just going by like stage fright fears because it's not something that I've really properly experienced. I'm just like guessing really.
Me.
What if they all make fun of me? I don't want to be laughed at.
This sounds exciting.
Nova actually sounds like it's going.
Nova's actually saying stuff. You know who wasn't really? You know who's the one murmuring who didn't really say much? KW. Which, granted, I didn't really give proper direction, so it's technically on me for the murmuring. But that's why KW isn't as apparent. KW's there, just subtly.
It's kind of like the classical Gareth and Lawrence thing, where they just like come up with their own murmurs. I don't think Aphmau sanctioned any of those, because if she did, she would notice about a couple of diary references in there that probably wouldn't make a lot of sense based on the time frame.
Here. Hello, Prism.
Yep. Hi. I actually like upvoted one of Prism's comments on the first part today while I was in Portugal, so that might be why. But you never know.
It comes with great power, and with great power comes great responsibility.
Oh
yeah,
there's a blooper about this. We're gonna see the blooper after the video.
Yeah, no,
you've
had me. I think I've you sent me the bloopers to like display for people based on that. But yeah, I won't ruin it because I saw that in the video it said bloopers at the end or the description of it.
Yeah, no,
competition will go. Is that
funny bloopers and also Spider-Man reference? We love Spider-Man.
Yeah. Oh, which reminds me, did I actually... Oh, wait a minute. I didn't add the stream rules and the and the credit, because normally that's because normally that's where I was that's when I started calling you. So let me just do that quickly. Original video by Aiden to Best. There's the link. Okay, at least we've done that. Usual stream rules, everyone. Just forgot to include them. I don't know if that updated. I think.
Wait a minute. Can we? So wait. I can't.
Changes.
I can no longer say the F word.
No.
Oh, I can no longer say it. Darn it.
I might
How
have to
could
add
you?
that later.
For each mission you do, you'll get a point. The 5 angels with the most points by the time of the contest completion will become the first archangels.
Yeah! Alright!
That sounds like that sounds like whenever you cross the finish line in a racing game. Yeah, all right.
I'm really good at audio, guys. Trust me, I'm real good at it. Oh.
On to the next phase of the Leaf Cup in Mario Kart or something.
Excellent. Let's get
Mushroom Cup is
started.
next.
Oh, Lord of Festus.
Okay,
Could I
so
use
this is
some...
just a detail. What?
Okay, go. Just the fact that it faded up while they were like standing opposite each other, and then Braxton just goes, "Oh, Lord Hephaestus, didn't see you there."
Listen, I didn't want to do hard. I'm trying to avoid doing hard cuts, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna fade the scene in. I could have did a hard cut here, but you know.
Yeah, but okay. The point is that if your scene requires somebody to notice someone for the first time, that implies an entrance or a turnaround or something that indicates they're not already looking directly at them. That's the major issue, fade or otherwise. Give this man glasses. Oh,
Nah.
pretty much.
Okay, so a few things for the scene. For starters, Abraxas' design is slowly changing. His pants is different now. You're gonna when we get towards the end of the video, it'll be a lot more clear. But you know, his design is gonna slowly morph over the course of this part and next part, where you know.
Yeah, I didn't just during the montage all the three brothers change to gradually get closer to their more iconic outfits.
And then, and also they're technically on a volcano here. I tried to look for a volcano forge background. I couldn't find one very well, so I was like, this kind of looks like a volcano. We're just near a volcano.
Yeah, did you use free pick?
No.
But does no one use free pick other than me? First Ghosty and now you.
I keep forgetting about Hurryback. So, you know, I pulled this. I think this is from Jail 2 or something. I think this is from Jail 2. Anyways, we're in a volcano. Volcano
All right.
Forge.
Well, there you go. You've got some GL2 details in Fallen Angels. That's nice.
Still back on something from there on occasion.
It's to make a powerful tool for Thanatos and his angels to use.
Oh.
Yes, it tells us when there's a soul who escaped Thanatos
Just
or
doing
an
a bold
angel,
lie.
and the soul's
Yeah.
location.
This part you can tell. Parkasaur's doing the good delivery here.
I'm making a surprise for Lord Thanatos.
Really? I mean, that would be very useful.
Man, everyone just likes to wield around like tools and weapons. Just
That's his
willy-nilly.
cane. That's his cane.
Well, he's not leaning on this cane at the moment.
Well, yeah, because he's leaning on the rock, okay? He's leaning on the rock. He just has the cane in his hand.
What? Is he leaning on the rock with his bottom or something? Because he's currently got both hands occupied.
Yeah, he's leaning on the rock with his body, okay?
Sure. Okay then.
I'm trying
Canonically.
to build it.
Yeah.
He has his cane with him at all times if he needs to move it. Which, I mean, I would question if a god can, like, be, like, have, like, I think he has, like, a limp canonically. Is that a limp?
Yes.
Like, I would question of how a god could have a limp despite the fact that, you know, they're technically immortal, so, you know, permanent damage.
Yeah, that didn't quite make sense to me either. Possibly because like it happened as a baby. you know, like his default formation ended up becoming that, but that's my only guess.
But they
That's one of the things that
can he not shapeshift?
he should actually. But
Yeah, he can just
weirdly
shapeshift
enough,
into a version of him who doesn't have the limp.
weirdly enough, Hephaestus is one of the only gods that I can't think of any instance of shapeshifting for.
Yeah, Hephaestus canonically, I think it's like just the limp and he uses the cane, which
yes,
is
because yeah. Do you want
to
explain why?
Olympus.
Yeah.
He was thrown off Olympus as a baby by his mother, who rejected him because he was allegedly super ugly. Therefore, you know, yeet.
Yeah, and to be honest, he doesn't look too bad here, all things considered.
Yeah, he's a ginger. Maybe that's why she threw him off. She threw him off because he's a ginger.
Okay, I don't think Hera is Eric Cartman.
No.
She was like, "Oh my god, die, you ginger! You have no soul. Your eyes are red like a demon."
His eyes are red, so. Well, honestly, that depends on if he was born with like a head of hair. I know that some babies are born with a full head of hair. It's
honestly, he probably wasn't born with a head of hair. Most babies aren't. I'm gonna be honest, probably
exactly.
wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
She saw a single ginger strand of hair as soon as he was born. A single strand.
I suddenly like Hephaestus a lot more now. Why? Why? Because of the cane or because of the being ugly part? What was the new information added that won you over? Oh, a ginger Aiden cat. Oh, right. Okay, fine.
We love gingers here. I mean, they're either evil or protagonists. You know, there's no in between.
Well, I mean, Hephaestus here is more of a supporting role, I think. I remember when we talked about the original structure of this movie, and originally it wasn't like clear that there was like a protagonist of any kind. So like at first, I pushed for Thanatos in that position, so we follow mostly him. You know, again, no bias, obviously.
No bias.
Yeah, and now we have Abraxas taking up the Deuteragonist spot pretty much, or
I mean, I would say the two main protagonists of the movie as a whole are Thanatos and Abraxas. You know, the two diverging protagonists.
Yeah.
One goes. Not surprising.
Not surprising there, Evil. Okay.
Besides, you're probably very busy.
True.
You know something, actually? In a lot of stories, especially like superhero ones, a lot of the time, like you get like the villain creating like their own nemesis, and eventually end up. I don't mean like in a Megamind fashion, but more like accidentally, where someone like rises up to like deal with whatever cruelty they've sustained or some sort of like big action that their villain's taken in the past that led to a path of revenge or whatever. In this particular instance, the opposite. It's Thanatos, the quote unquote hero. Creating his own creating the biggest thorn in his side since Sisyphus, who was the original reason that he went down this path in the first place.
I guess you can have the steel.
Is it a bit disabled to his ability? Yes, it is. Yeah.
You know, if you want to hear about some more about Hephaestus' story, go watch Mrs. Dysart, the main Mrs. Dysart episode 2. Yeah,
I forgot that was the one that we tackled.
Yeah, Hephaestus' message in there. If you wanna hear that again.
Yeah,
on my channel.
Yeah, fun fact. I actually found out a few years ago that apparently in ancient Sparta, if a baby was born deformed, they were just punted off of a cliff. So maybe that was taken from the mythology story, or that specific Hephaestus story came from Sparta. You never know.
Lord Hephaestus.
He goes to a village.
Of Ephira.
And again, he's talking before he even starts his first sentence.
No, his mouth was closed. What do you mean? His mouth was closed during transition.
And let's see. Yeah.
Kingdom of Ephira.
Okay, just because it starts like a few seconds earlier. I mean, that's better. That's better. Yeah. It's offensive to the slight disability because I'm half blind. I have seen some interpretations where one of Hephaestus' eyes either seems like it's blind or that it's like singed or something like that. So maybe it's if
you like Hephaestus because he's technically disabled. You know who's also partially disabled in present day? Abraxas. He's half.
I was
one of his eyes taken out. He can't see one of his eyes because.
I mean, I was also gonna say Agatha, you know, ginger and disabled.
Yeah, but you know,
and blind for that matter.
You know that's why you should like present day Abraxas. He's such a good person. kidding. That's a joke. God.
Oh my goodness.
I like Abraxas because he can't see in one eye. He's great.
You know what? You know what? A good example of a villain creating like their own nemesis hero. The Kingpin creating Daredevil. Because in a lot of interpretations, it's usually like some like toxins sustained from like, you know, Kingpin's activities that end up blinding Daredevil in the first place, and also, you know, like the whole thing with his father and whatever. What time period are we in? Because that was with red hair as quite the short skirt. Honestly, that's a good question at this stage because we started off in
We're still
somewhat in
ancient. We're still somewhat in ancient Greece throughout the time period.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say, like, because with the time skips, you could technically have it so that it's take place over like hundreds of years.
We're still technically in ancient Greece currently.
Okay then.
Your king Sisyphus has been imprisoned for.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. If they still know who Sisyphus is, then yeah, they still have memories of him. I mean,
something we all desire.
Also, ginger background character. She doesn't have a name, but
you're just gonna point out all of them now.
Gonna point out all the gingers. Also, you know, we stand a ginger, okay? And also, okay, so this is just a thing. So the ginger girl with the purple eyes, I've had canoned that the one with pink hair is actually her daughter. So you know,
okay, that makes sense. Though
they're background characters, so they don't have any lines, and they're kind of just made for this one scene to be background characters. So,
I mean, you would probably have like a family of some kind that would.
So I had to canon. The dad is either somewhere else in the village or dead. I don't know. They're background characters. I only made 2 with them.
Okay, I mean, you could have said that the dad was like the guy next to him, but you know.
Nah, the dad would have pink hair because genetics.
Okay, yeah, sure, fair enough.
Also, the guy next to them actually has kind of like a backstory, sort of.
Oh, fair enough.
Life.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I think he does look familiar, actually.
I can give you a world without death.
Yay, awkward clapping. I'm real good at sound effects. I'm
that's the thing because
person.
Yeah.
Okay.
Honestly, to get like the soundscape effect of like of a round of applause, like the way that we like interpret it, you have to have like many people doing it at the same time, because otherwise, like a usual like clapping rate would probably be something like that kind of thing, and it sounds very weird in isolation. So I get why that's an issue, but ultimately, if everyone's going,
actually,
which they seem to be doing, that doesn't quite help.
Some people have faster claps, some people have slower claps. It's a huge combination. It's like several different clapping noises I put together.
Fair enough. They sound a little bit slow, but that's fine. All right. I am a bit of a slab. I'm gonna do a faster clap. Nothing helping the soundscape. I'm a help in the soundscape. Oh, you should make them do the cha-cha slide. Everybody clap your hands. Yeah, there you go. Same rhythm. Anyway, also, Bold to assume Agatha was an audio favorite, which is my favorite mostly because she was blind and also... Yeah, there we go. See? That's what I was getting at.
However, I require your assistance. Will you help me?
Yeah, listen, we have very awkward clapping here, okay? The people of Athera don't know how to clap well, okay? They're really bad at it.
The people of Athera?
Athera.
Did we suddenly get a KW tie-in?
Not Athera, crap, whatever. Forget what it's... forget.
Oh right, no, it was like Ethera. That was the name of the place. Yeah, I forgot that. Yeah,
whatever. Right. Kingdom that they're in.
Yeah. Also, by the way, before I forget, yeah, whenever I think of like ginger characters that get like favoritism, usually it comes down to, depending on the certain circumstance, it could be like Agatha or it could be Felix, because
there's also Lilith. Don't forget about people love Lilith for some.
Well, yeah, for Music Girl specifically, it's usually Felix because like people tend to like simp for him, which is like, but also
he kidnapped people. What about that? Isn't amazing.
Yeah, but then of course, I guess obviously, then Lilith has her own following in that regard too. So yeah, that's fair.
Lilith is great. We stand Lilith. She's a queen.
Yeah, see, case in point. I remember that whenever Prism said like ginger characters that I like and ginger Aiden characters, I thought obviously Felix isn't an Aiden character, but he's voiced by Aiden, so close enough.
Yeah. Although I don't know if there's any stands for Kurt though. I don't think any Kurt stands out there.
Not sure. Chat, any Kurt stands in the...
Any Kurt stands? Does anyone stand Kurt specifically? I need to know.
One, two. Yeah, wasn't there like a whole like fight between you and somebody else about that? Oh, I think it was... Oh, I remember the Empress fights as well. I think it was Adri and Emily that had like a whole spat between
hey, we have a Kurt fan.
Like,
Let's go.
For days on end. All right then.
Listen, psychotic gingers. Psychotic gingers. We stand a psychotic ginger, guys. They're either super wholesome or super psychotic.
That's gonna be Butterverse. That's gonna be on the Butterverse bingo now. Psychotic gingers.
Let's get started.
Is the background character, the background ginger, is she psychotic too? We'll never know.
I sincerely hope not. She is raising a child.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is new music. I like this one.
I found it on a library. He's talking to someone who he has a name canonically. His name is Edward. He was going to be an antagonist in Fallen Angel Season 3. But then that storyline ended up being cut.
There we go.
But he's here. So technically, I may make a backstory mini episode about him one day. May get more backstory on him, but he will definitely probably not be a villain in Fallen Angels now. But I may do something else with the character. I don't know. I thought about it, considering it currently. But there he is. So he does have a name.
The Ginger Mother will be the villain in the spin-off. Well, there you go. Talk about villains creating their own foils.
Oh my god, a hated child version made by Aiden.
I forgot who Kurt was because stuff and rewatched Fallen Angels. Well, now you have a reason to do so. And there's Lilith. Which, by the way, I didn't get this like at the time that the first like the movie came out. The first part of the movie came out, because I think I hadn't watched the Owl House at that point. But I'm pretty sure that Lilith introduced herself as Lilith Clawthorne. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was an Owl House reference. I'm like, oh.
Who also ended up with ginger hair towards the end. Good lord.
Well, her hair was always ginger, it's just, she dyed it blue.
But yeah, that's what that. Yeah,
like bluish black-ish.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it was more black to me, but yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I was gonna say there seems that dyeing your hair is like a very recurring theme for
the Owl House. Look, Dana Tiras just really likes hair dye. Okay, she's just really big.
Except for the fact that like the characters who have dyed hair end up like losing the dye at some point or applying a different one later. Anyway, emo phase. It kind of was an emo phase for Lilith that lasted like 30 years.
Oh my god. Lilith working her magic to get someone to do something for her, We stand out.
Which did happen in part 1.
Yeah.
I do wonder how she got chosen to be an angel. That's one question that doesn't really get answered in this movie.
Look at him hammering.
Yeah, I can imagine Lilith like somehow like pulling like a Gilderoy Lockhart and someone taking credit for a bunch of like other people doing things for her, and then be like, ah yes, this was all me the whole time.
While they're telling him about about what they have been doing.
And he just like ticks off the box, and that's it.
Yeah, he's writing it down and marking it.
Yeah, everyone's built up a little bit.
Everyone looked at it.
You're up first.
Okay,
Kurt.
so I have a few things to say about the scene before we go into this. So, one thing is, when the competition started, I forgot to include the detail where I mentioned 5 angels would be chosen. So, the other 2 are in, like, the other corner of the room, but you just can't see them, they're off screen. But I kind of forgot the detail where it's supposed to be 5 being in the room, so I was like, oh crap, they're in the corner. So I had to fix this with the next scene, where we actually get to meet the first archangels, where I'm like, okay, I think I can say they're in the corner for this scene, that we don't see them in the single shot that we get. But for the next scene with the ceremony where we see all the archangels, yeah, I kind of need them in there. So I literally had to add them in post. Like after I exported the scene, I literally was like, okay, I'm adding them in here.
In all fairness, Thanatos has been known to split angels up into groups of 3 for training purposes, so this could just be an extension of that in theory.
You got
hurt so much more than I thought.
I mean, while Thanatos is just smiling in the corner going,
Yep, I did it.
Who's next?
Pain is irrelevant to me. I'm a god.
Introducing our...
Yeah, I can't be hurt by even by my own scythe that I constantly slice my limbs off with.
First few
Okay, so this is where I had to add to. Wait, okay, they're walking on screen, so...
Alright.
They're gonna walk on screen. Okay, so you see the 2 in the bottom, like the girl in like the white kimono and Robert.
Yeah, somehow having some of the most like appropriate attire for the time period, but yes, I do see them.
Yeah, no, you have these 2. Those 2 were added after I exported a scene where I'm like, crap, I need to add them in later on.
Oh, that's what you meant. Okay.
Yeah, no, so they weren't originally in the scene. So I'm like, oh crap, I need to throw in 2 more angels. Here they are! Wow, look, archangels! Wow, I had 5. I did.
You say that the previous scene didn't have much in the way of camera angles, so you could, in theory, have added them in the previous one too, if you thought that was.
Yeah, but I didn't want to clutter up the scene the screen too much, because this screen's a little bit cluttered, or at least you can't really see. I forget what her name is. I forget what the archangel in the back is. I forget her name. But she has a name on her export. I just forgot her name. Oops.
No, that's fine.
But, yeah, I never really said who were the first few archangels besides Kurt, so that's kind of why I just picked random angels. I'm like, you're an archangel, and you're an archangel, and you're an archangel. I never really said who were the specific first archangels besides Kurt. First.
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't necessarily need to go like full like Bible here and just make a bunch of like lists of people. And Enosh begat somebody who begat whoever and lived for 900 years, and then they begat this person and that person.
They begat, yes.
Yeah.
Round of applause.
Battle cry. Yeah, that was a sound effect. Oh, and Lilith is jealous in the corner.
Oh, it was a sound effect. Okay, I would have like lingered on that for there a bit. Honestly, you know what we should have done? Just have like a Leonardo DiCaprio moments, just saying like. Anyway.
Can we talk, Kurt?
Congratulations on becoming an archangel.
Thanks.
Kurt, what's the matter?
It's...
You can tell me.
Can I? It's really big and...
Oh, I saw a mouse for a second.
I don't know what to do.
Oh, God.
Tell me.
I'm trying to avoid that happening much.
Please.
Well, you see...
Flashback. Woo!
So let's pass Kurt. He looks nice. If I remember, being an Archangel changes him. Being an Archangel was his emo phase.
He's always emo.
It lasted thousands of years.
This is the gate. Or at least one of the three.
I mean,
hiding.
it's... Okay.
Hiding in plain
say.
sight.
Placed in various places.
What is it for?
It is for bringing...
The fact that he pointed towards that's what gets me. The fact that he pointed towards the gate and it wasn't there is what's doing it for me.
about the solution.
Oh, also, this is just a detail as well. So I mentioned his pants change. Well, now he has shoulder pads. You know what he has in his present day design? Shoulder pads and those
Shoulder
exact
pads.
same pants. Yeah. So basically,
Well, of course, we're going to change the stuff to the attire that he eventually wears.
Basically, basically we're gonna see a bit more is like him slowly changing it more from design to his like season 2 design.
Yeah.
You know,
It's not a phase, Mum.
it's not a phase.
Now you're traumatized. I mean, you're an Archangel now. Yup. Definitely didn't say anything else.
Archangel is spelled A-R-K, not A-R-C-H. That's
Okay, see,
that's
this is something that always bothered me with like the way that you present that in the script. Because technically speaking, it should be spelt the way that Ghost Kitty says. All these
Okay.
like one word.
I am all okay, but that's how I spell it, though. Okay, that's how I spell it. The one time in the actual script, I left it spelled like that. Everyone kept calling them an archangel.
Okay,
That was
weird.
episode 9. Episode 9 of season 1, where Key talks to the Castiel. They explicitly Key and Castiel keep going. Why didn't you tell an archangel?
I feel like both Key and Castiel should know better by this point. Because
it was just like that always annoyed me. Like, oh god, it's arc. Internal screaming.
Yeah, but to be clear, an archangel is very much a concept, particularly in like Christian law, and and it is usually spelt the way that Ghost Kitty says, and also one word.
Well, I'm special and unique, or whatever. I'm not like other creators. I spell it different.
Yeah, in the script that people don't see in the audience. Anyway.
To a plague upon our former kind. The very thing that brought about our purpose.
Okay, again, the energy that's giving the very plague. It seems like the sort of body poses the very thing, potentially being a bit more loud and bombastic, but he's standing there completely still for the most part.
But also...
Nah, he's moving. Look how the knob poses.
Our eternal pain. I speak.
I think mostly it's also the face that kind of like betrays this a little bit.
Of the finality
the way they stay so stoic.
of life. The disease of death itself.
Come again?
I made.
Come again? Like what? Kurt does not stand Abraxas. Well, he did. He's no longer a Abraxas stan. He's a Abraxas hater now.
Yeah, and this was important to establish because again, one of my favorite things about Fallen Angels is the fact that you have you have like antagonistic forces that don't all agree with each other. It was so easy, especially for like how like outwardly evil Kurt is presented to be in the middle of season 1. It was important to remind people that no, he was never on Abraxas' side because he wants the direct opposite to him.
He's just a polar opposite extreme of Abraxas. So yay!
Since he won't listen to me, and with the use of this spear,
Boing.
I can end death.
Yep, and you've now just stabbed your ankle. Well done.
It starts the process.
Oh my goodness, you're already like, digging in there.
It's behind him. The spear's behind him. There's a
This is one thing that I'm always like paying attention to whenever I have like guards I see. I remember KW point out like the backwards hand in People Above for it was guard number 2. I think that was that again was one of the examples of because I was trying to pay attention a lot to well, first of all making custom poses, but for the first time, but also how the spear was business, like having to move the spear every single time so it stayed roughly in the same position because it would constantly be altered otherwise. That's something I work out for. Also the ushers baton as well.
And that's where it ends.
Okay.
The arc
then. Oh,
okay.
we're going straight from it. Okay.
This is bloopers. So, okay, a few things about the episode. The general narrative arc around the episode was the diverging paths and the development of the Angel Society. We had Abraxas taking his route. Meanwhile, Thanatos is expanding his route. As they both diverge and go in very different directions with where they're going. Or what they're trying to do, inevitably.
We got the rise of the opposition because in part one, of course, there's all the different pieces that are set up to be okay, this is how this is supposed to go. But with that situation was yes, all this forward progress that's happening, something has got to go wrong, and something did, or something is starting to rather. We get to see hints of that, and I guess for part 3 we will end up seeing the conclusion of that. So, structurally speaking, apart from, I guess, I still think the last scene of last episode probably would have been better served here, regardless of whether or not it was prepared at the time. But yeah, that's minor stuff. The changes that we get from Abraxas subtly are also quite nice. The amount of background extras as well, because something that historically we have. But we still have uses of the technique that I attribute to you a lot of the time now, which is addressing a crowd that's behind the camera. We had more instances of that than ever before, I think. But on top of that, we also had
you do get a decent amount of extras in this episode.
Yeah, exactly, and that is that's definitely huge in regards to you, because normally you either get too tempted to give them too much of a backstory, or
I just headcanon backstories half the time. I'm like, okay. When I'm designing them, I'm like, oh, I'm going to make them related. Oh, wait, they're dating. Yes, these two are canonically dating. Even though the audience doesn't know that, and they won't probably know that unless I tell them. It's it's a thing that I imagine. Because
that's not a bad idea, and it's also 100% something that we're encouraged to do in theater. Well, at least I was in my circles, and I remember developing full backstories for characters that were just extras that didn't even have any lines, or characters that had one line that was literally his name one time, and I had a whole thing to do with that. And whenever we had to be to stay in character, I was able to finally develop that, and there's always a parallel story that was going on to the main character, even though probably meant to be different people each time, and I was supposed to be the same person or whatever. But yeah, a lot of the fun comes from doing that. I also remember one of the first modes I was ever in when I was 10 or 11. I was the main antagonist for that, but despite that, we had several pages worth where we were off screen. So what me and my villain family would do is we just we would role play more or less the same things. We had our own separate play going on for no audience, where we just do the same things with the stone that we just stolen. I'd make a potion with this one. There's the daughter would use it for some powers, and the crocodile elephant monster would try to eat it. So yeah, that's a very fun part of doing theater. But ultimately, of course, you don't want to overwhelm the audience. You can't have that, for everything. I remember asking if I could appear as a plant monster inspired by Kevin's hacked Omnitrix transformation in Alien Force, and that was profoundly rejected because A, we'd have the makeup for it or the budget to acquire it, and B, it made no sense in the story. So, sacrifices must be made is what I'm ultimately getting at.
Yes.
But yeah, and of course the first inclusion of a Gacha Life 2 background, I think, that you've had at the moment. Maybe there've been a couple. But...
I probably have had one or two before. I mean, sometimes I'll just go games like Gacha Life 2, or Gacha Club, and I'll just scroll through the background. It's this is a decent background copy. I'm gonna I take a screenshot of it and just put it in the video. That's what I tend to do.
Yeah.
Probably need to download Gachaverse too, or like some other Gacha games, just to see if I can steal any more of those backgrounds, which would be more fitting sometimes to get more background options.
Potentially. Yeah, some of the old Gacha games particularly have some that have have become lost to time to some extent. But of course, if you go by Gacha 2, they've all become lost to time because they have a whole entire new roster instead.
I know, right? Like, dang.
Yeah.
Couldn't even bring them
I'm
back.
surprised by. Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't. At least they include the old ones that they already had access to, and presumably they're permitted to use or whatever. But I don't know. Also, you can find all the Gacha backgrounds on FreePick too. That's what Ludo themselves used. One funny thing I'll say about this, I remember that you said that you didn't want to include like the other two like archangels because they would like clutter the screen. I will say that when it comes to extras, cluttering the screen isn't always something you have to avoid. Because I will say, you know, in my brief experience as an extra, I've been in some clutter before, or at least I've witnessed it from afar sometimes as well. Because ultimately, like, the extras are sometimes there to make it so that, you know, the scene like feels lived in. So it's not just a case of like, oh, this is all like an entirely empty area. Why is there no one outside on the street or whatever?
I mean, yeah, but to be fair, they were in a magical room where you turn into an archangel. You know.
So the important
we're not
part
really
is
in a
but the important part is
environment.
like the room and the room and like the circle and the person who steps in towards the center. That's where the viewer's focus is going to go. So ultimately speaking, you don't necessarily need to have for some people, of course, I guess also the Gacha audience particularly, it's nice for there's sometimes to have the option if you know to see everyone, all the designs or whatever. But it's but ultimately as a larger concept, usually with extras, that's something that's not that important or even discouraged because extras aren't supposed to draw attention to themselves to some degree.
Yeah.
Oh well. Looking forward to part 3 either way. So now let's watch some bloopers, starting with the one that I think I know.
Given the overwhelming task of organization placed upon the head angels, I decided to make a
Okay, it wasn't the same one, but it was it was another one that I sent. I don't normally end up sending bloopers over, but sometimes I get some gems in there. How's Mr. Spiky Hair's name spelled? Don't want another dinosaur situation.
A-R-A-B-R... Wait.
That spells Arab so far.
Give me a moment. I'm just gonna go on the screen and type out in the chat.
I was about to say, yeah, do it that way. I mean, we don't want someone saying ambidextrous again.
Ambidextrous. I can't spell very good, but there it goes. I put it in the chat. If you guys want to see, that's how I spell Abuaxis.
Yeah.
And if you ever want to,
A, of course, because it's.
And if you ever want to spell any of the characters' names, and especially if they have a line or two in the actual episode, just go to the description of the video. I literally write all their names out.
Yeah,
like that's how you spell their name.
Have you used Jacob Butter as a background character slash clutter? Just ignore the clutter of Jacob Butter. Beanie Boy is vindicated. Just ignore the Ghost Girl. In Ghost Girl, I'm pretty sure wasn't I a teacher in that or something? I don't remember. But
that's less background character than more of a character, I guess. Okay, kind of.
But yeah, more of like a proper cameo. But yeah, I think in it because I've been in the Pops franchise, as far as like I've had cameos, I think a lot of the time I'm including like a lot of background scenes where someone's like, oh yeah, where am I? Oh, there I am. Like I have to like look around for a little bit. Like in Ballet Pops, the poisoning pigeon scene. I think I'm in that one. That was one of the examples.
How old are you in the Pops universe? Ballet Pops is relatively early on the Pops timeline, and if you appear in multiple Pop series, how old is your character canonically? Like, are you like 40-something? By the time we get some of the later Pop series.
I haven't been informed about this, so I don't have an answer. Anyway, let's watch more bloopers.
I decided to choke, that's what I decided to do. It comes with great power, and with great power comes I hate you.
Yeah, there we go. There we go. That was it. I remember this.
You have just me. Just like, oops.
Oh, the sad part is I can't remember which one of us wrote that line. Really?
I think it was me.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was probably you.
Fine.
And episode ends. You only get 2 bloopers.
Oh, okay. I was the only person in the bloopers. Fine.
I
Fair
couldn't
enough.
look. There weren't really many bloopers for associated or interesting bloopers. So I'm like, I'm gonna leave this here. You know.
Yeah, like because most of the time my bloop was just me going like, and I will say the line. It's like, nope. I will say the line in this way, and that's it. That's all. And you can't. That's already not really like too funny. It's not like with the Guardians where there's like a ton of amazing gems consistently to the point where they now warrant their entire video to themselves. So when I get those, I make sure to send those along just in case. But but they are few and far between. That's not saying I never get bloopers. I'm just saying they're not funny. You appear in the back of episode 2 with Emily's old design, then I made you a teacher in a later episode, and Lana and Adam appeared as students in that same episode. Yeah, okay. There we go. Alright then. And there are, yeah, exactly, there's so many of those. My goodness. I mean, yeah, it's worth something. We used to do bloopers in the Mutant Girl videos. The reason we don't do any more is because at some point Natasha and Jay asked if they could be taken down. Jay wanted to take down like all the Mutant Girl episodes that featured like his voice, but then I negotiated because I was like, please don't make me do that. So
that would suck
like,
though. Your views would go down, and the channel's like, oh god.
Mm-hmm. I mean, see, here's the thing. I think I probably. If season 1 Mutant Girl at this point were to disappear because of Gacha Review and because of like the rest of Mutant Girl that exist after them and the remakes that don't feature them at all, I would probably mostly be alright. But for the sake of like the history of the series, I still wouldn't.
The second half of season 1, though, you still miss like episode 7 through 10.
Yeah,
which wouldn't be good. I mean, I guess you could retroactively go in the videos and like get the current VAs to dub in, but I mean, then that comes in the question.
Idea, actually.
But like, what about music in that case? Like, I don't know if you have a version without the music associated with it. Like,
yeah, I don't, and that was like 2 computers ago as well. And 5 years.
I mean, I guess you could just dub the old, redub all the scenes with all the new VAs.
That's probably what I would do, actually. Yeah,
which sounds like a pain in the butt. Where it's like, oh god, here we go again.
It would be, but ultimately,
because like Pop was in so much of like
season
the
grounds, then
well, yeah, but we have to like read the script is slightly different. You have to translate the script and that whole shenanigan.
Yeah,
which
I believe that for TV shows they tend to produce a version that has like all the music and sound effects in sync with it, but they don't have the words over it, so they can have the voiceover in different languages because. I can definitely confirm that with all the dubs that I've seen, the sound effects are identical. So I assume there's some sort of like streamlined process for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't think to do that at the time because I was not planning to dub anything at that stage. So there you go.
Which, by the way, Jacob, if you want to start working more on the concept of Mean Girl Spanish dub, I would love to do that. I want to work more on that. I also want to work more on the Fallen Angel dub.
Maybe like after Weather Pops.
Because like the whole concept of a dubbing on a Gacha series is very interesting to me.
Yeah,
having actually been dubbed into another language.
Yeah, I understand that, but yeah, it's Zach with a K is how you would spell it.
Yeah, Zach with a K. I don't like it with the H, if I'm honest. Like it's like Zach.
That's KW's. That's KW's version of Zach. That's
like the H just gives me like that doesn't look right.
Okay.
To me.
Don't worry, I'll voice everyone. Phantom. Oh my goodness.
Mutant Girl episode 1, but Prism voices everybody.
You should actually do that, Prism. Like not like a full episode necessarily, unless you want to, but you could do like a couple of scenes or something. Honestly, yeah, you know what? Yeah,
scene 1 of the Mutant Girl remake.
Take some scenes from the Mutant Girl, like just random ones from different episodes. Put them together, label it a Gacha compilation so you get the views of it, and see what happens. There you go. There you go. That's a video idea for you. And yes, Archangel in the Fallen Angel script specifically is how that's spelt, but the way that it was spelt before, the one that you said, ARCHANGEL, that's usually how you spell it with one word. That's how I've seen it before.
If you wanna dub some fallen angel scenes, that'd be funny. Prism dubs.
maybe like a separate episode. Yeah. So again, if Prism likes the idea, it seems like, well, which apparently she does, then maybe if the video does like a sequel episode doing the same thing but with fallen angels might make sense. I don't think combine them two would be so good for branding.
The soup store scene would be a fun thing to dub from Prism.
But there are like a million versions of that scene specifically because it's a meme. I feel like some of the other ones would make more sense here.
The cake is a lie. That was the scene of Fallen Angels. I never referenced the cake is a lie. That would be funny though.
All right. Again. Oh look, it's Zack in his own emo archangel phase. Honestly, most of Zack's emo phase came before he turned into an archangel.
He was so angsty. We love angst. God, I want to dress him as a Zuko one day. I just want to put him in a Zuko costume.
Yeah, because
for my honor,
we've compared for my honor, for my family, for the scars that never fade away. I don't know. But we have compared Zack to Zuko a lot in the past, like, based on like how he's like tormented one particular side versus the other. Eventually, like has to switch sides and whatever, and has a foil in the form of like an unhinged version of himself that ends up going insane afterwards. Yeah. Halloween idea. You gotta make the Fallen Angels and that's Mutant Girls spooky dubs.
I have actually thought about doing...
neutral, I don't care about...
I've been doing mini episodes. I've been thinking about actually doing like a Halloween-themed mini episode because like I can't get a full episode
I'd be surprised if you didn't.
But I can get a mini episode made, sort of. I just need to figure out what I want it to... I want it to be Halloween-themed, I just don't know what to specifically to go for Halloween.
Well, I don't know. You could do that Scooby-Doo thing that you were planning for something else.
Well, okay, but the thing's gonna happen ideally next year.
You say ideally next year. You said ideally this year at one point. You said like I will make sure this happens this year and whatever.
Okay, but then I lost my job, got a terrible job, quit that job, and now I have a new job lined up. So
Okay, all right, fair.
A lot happened.
I too also got a new job, so I mean.
And you moved, so we have both been very busy. So next year.
Oh, you meant the Zuko, like dressing Zack as Zuko. Yeah, so there you go. We have said for the record if there's any like Mutant Girl Halloween things that ever happen, we're dressing Agatha up as Toph, because that just makes a lot of sense. Because ultimately, like they probably will be dressed up as like different things from different
Harvey dresses up as a giant brownie.
Whatever. I mean,
probably not. Probably not. Do something else. I don't know. If you got any cool costume ideas, you can always comment them on like the official upload of the movie. You want to comment your Halloween ideas on there. I like engagement. Give me engagement. Anyways, yes.
Yeah. They could, honestly, they at some point they could go to they could even go to like a convention of some kind, and that would be an excuse like dress up.
I have thought about it. I have thought about convention.
Yeah, it was like just like trust me, this makes perfect sense for you, Zack. And as for my costume, drink cactus juice. It'll quench you. Nothing's quenchier. It's the quenchiest. There you go. Harvey as Sokka makes a lot of sense as well.
Well, would that just be Felix in a suit, though? I don't think that would be a very interesting costume. It would just be Felix in a suit. Unless we get like an inflatable version of Prism next to him and just put it on his arm.
No, we edit Prism's character into a cardboard cutout and just put it next.
And Felix in a suit, I mean, like, yes.
Okay, you know what? New merch idea. We make cardboard cutouts of the
Yes.
Yes, please.
We,
Oh my
we,
goodness. How, you know, one question I've always had, like, how do they package
Felix in a
cardboard
wedding
cutouts
dress.
in other cardboards? You need Felix in a dress. Oh, okay.
Felix
All
is
right,
wearing
fair
a wedding
enough.
dress. He would slay, okay? Felix in a wedding dress would slay. He would slay.
I mean, sure.
But he's getting diamonds on the dress, okay? He's getting
but...
diamonds on the dress to make it look extra fancy and sparkly.
Yeah, either that or like, or some sort of like precious stone that he's engineered himself that looks reminiscent of diamond. Who knows, really?
Blushing.
I think you'd be the one blushing, Prism, just based on the sound of it. Okay, well, that was
Moral of the story, subscribe to my channel.
absolutely. Moral of the story, Ghost Kitty, rewatch Fallen Angels. You've got a reason to do so now.
Yeah, give me views. And you know what? If you ever do actually rewatch Fallen Angels, leave comments. You know, I like comments. I don't know.
This is true. Leave comments, and I will upvote them before I do the review of the following thing.
And Jacob, you should respond to the comments. Even if you don't
I responded to like a few of them sometimes.
I need engagement.
It depends.
Engagement is nice.
Yeah, it certainly is. I remember when Aiden would just comment "uwu" on all the Mutant Girl episodes just to see what would happen.
Well, I mean, I think it does help. Honestly, I think even just a single comment helps. You know.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we're just here right there.
Yeah.
Morwenna goes. You voice Morwenna, I voice Agatha.
Okay, Agatha?
Yes, Morwenna?
Why does your brother have a random cardboard cutout of someone?
I don't know. I don't question his hobbies anymore. Also, I'm blind. How would I know what this is?
Well, I mean,
I'm blind.
She might have heard him bring in the cardboard cutout, but wouldn't know who it was.
I don't question.
I don't
Listen,
know.
last time I questioned his hobbies, your boyfriend got tranked.
Yeah. So, yes, you and you wacky gingers. Wait, I'm Ginger.
She just feels
she
her
probably
hair.
does know that she's Ginger, for the record.
She just feels her hair. It's like, I'm Ginger, huh? I can't feel it, but I guess I am.
Oh, look, Prism had the same joke. He has a cardboard cutout. I mean, we have established that Felix is able to hide things inside the house so that Agatha never notices them, even when she's
Oh my
there.
god, when he hides her birthday presents like that. He just puts it out in the open. He doesn't even really have to hide them. He just puts it out in the open.
That would be hilarious, yeah.
He just goes to the corner and be like, okay, here you go. It's like, wait, you didn't leave the room. It's like, yeah, they've been in the room the whole time. It's like, oh.
I can imagine like younger Agatha just like kicking the general air underneath the Christmas tree to see if something was there. just trying to be like really subtle about it, but failing in the same way that children fail to be subtle about everything. Hope he has a shrine of me. Well, his basement is currently empty, so you know. Maybe once he like clears out.
You know,
all
Felix
like,
writes Guardian fan fiction in his spare time.
But okay, Prism's not an actual character in the Guardians.
Nah, he's just followed Prism to the point where he just writes fan fiction.
Unless he's got like Felix X Mecha stuff or something, which is like the closest equivalent, I guess.
Felix went up to Mecha. You're the queen, but I could be your king. Will you marry Mecha?
You Mecha me crazy. I've already made that joke multiple times, but it always makes me laugh. Yeah.
Do it. If you make it family friendly enough, we can read it.
Honestly, yeah, I would love at some point to do like an AFMAU style fanfic reading video. The problem is that all the Mutant Girl fanfics that exist currently are either not family friendly or they're really depressing, so I can't make a video in that same vein, even if I did manage to pull all the actors that would be required for that. See if I think Vicky on Venus actually said at one point that she'd be up for it if Nova's not around. I'm a fanfic writer, I will actually do it. Okay, and to all other fanfic writers, if you do want to have your have your fanfics read at some point and acted out potentially by the characters in Minecraft, if we can make that work, then make sure they're family friendly and not too depressing. Happy fanfics. Okay, if you haven't seen those Athmal videos, if you've seen those, you know what I'm talking about. Like, they're happy in nature, but then the suffering comes from the people having to act them out. That's the real kicker there.
Then Athmal went in and they all kissed. Wait, what was it? She like.
Oh no, Athmal tripped and kissed both Jeffrey and Caitlyn one time
at the same time, which I'm like, how do you do that? It's like, dang, you really have to be really good at aiming. It's like.
Yeah, there was also one with where Caitlyn and Travis had like 50 babies, all named Caitlyn's butt. So, yeah, that was also another one. Caitlyn got targeted a lot in the fanfics because of the fact that obviously her reaction was the best. So.
Did you touch my butt?
No, that was in an actual episode. That was Travis acting as Caitlyn when they went to Love Paradise.
The suffering.
And he beat himself up.
How do you even do that?
With extreme difficulty, I imagine, but he managed to get a cry of pain from that, so I don't know, he pulled it off somehow. Why does everyone always make ships with you, Mecha? That, again, that's just the close thing I had to, like, yourself, because, you know, like...
Listen,
there's one thing that we don't do here is that we don't usually put ourselves in our own stories. So, yeah, I can, That was just a because you mentioned Guardians.
The queen, literally.
This is true. Yeah, and Felix has been paired up with people described as the queen in the past.
Oh my god!
And named Empress.
The shipping. Crazy plus mad scientist equals. Strange.
Do you reckon some people are still mad at me about that? I wonder if they are.
I don't know. You know, they may be over it by now. Who knows? People's emotions. Emperor. Yes.
Was that more like an empress or like an empress? like just the memory of it. It's like that. That's why I'm to Felix every time that he hears the word empress. Empress. Anyway,
the one that got away.
What is classified as a fanfic?
Something written from a fan. That's
based on existing source material. Yeah, pre-established source material or persons. Sometimes they're fanfics about people. Trust me, I remember reading Quasi's Dream and Technoblade fanfic.
Why?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's a thing?
It was a thing. It's since been deleted. I
wonder why.
Fair enough. Yeah, I know you're not disappointed about the whole Felix and Empress thing because obviously
he's single right now for some. He's also in prison, but you know.
Yeah.
Ignore that part. He's single.
I'm in love with a criminal.
He experimented on people.
Oh, that's nice. Single and ready to mingle. Yeah. Well, I don't know about ready to mingle, but he is single.
Maybe if he ever gets out prison one day.
It's gonna be part of like the prisoner like pen pal exchange program or something. Anyway. Darling, guess who's back from jail? You might Adam come able to pick elements or Teneki fanfic, so it does not work like that. No, well, yours are adaptations. I think that's different. Usually for me, like fanfics with like adding onto something or like making like an extreme change.
By the way,
Ghost
Kitty, when is Ghost Girl remake happening? I want to know. I need to know. I need Ghost Girl remake.
Probably after Pretty Cure Elemental. That seems to be.
Also, by the way, Ghost Kitty, if Felix is in Ghost Girl reboot remake or whatever, I will voice act him.
Yeah. Also, I said this for the original version as well, but if I'm in any of the episodes, I will voice act me.
I will
If you
voice act
want.
me. No, seriously though, if you want me, I will record lines fast for Felix. If you want me to voice act Felix, I will do it.
Also, Prism here is the new Mrs. Dysart, so just say the word to any of us.
Oh yeah, wait a minute, forgot.
Yeah, Mrs. Dysart appears in in an older version of herself. I am pretty elemental now. It's my problem. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you snatched that at the precise right moment for sure. But yeah, so that works, and also Amco Purple. I don't know. I guess Amco Purple is we'll say it's public domain because it's not being updated. They're all public domain because they're not copyrighted, but you know what I mean.
I
think I did actually file for I think I did actually file for a trademark of or copyright of the music girl, not like the visuals of it because that's Gacha, but it's the actual thing because I was planning to make a stage version of that.
Did it work?
Don't remember actually. I have to see. It's like, do I own the music girl? We'll find out.
I mean, you're technically on the videos by nature of you uploading them, but
that is true. Yeah, counts as a tangible work of expression or something like that under the 1976 Copyright Act, as based as the real lawyer said on Smosh and Order one time. Which, by the way, recording idea for Butter Bunch is for us to watch Smosh and Order because that is honestly a classic.
Dang.
Don't know if she will
but if you do actually want voice actors though as well, I will voice act. Okay, I will record lines. Even if you have recorded lines.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you decide to go voice actor, because again, like I said before, it's not always a necessary thing. But if you do decide to go in that direction, then yeah, we'll.
I don't know. I always find voice acting elevates a story, though. Like hearing the voices come out of it, because like a performance, granted, a bad performance could really hinder a story, but a good performance could take some mid material that's not really too impressive and make it oh my god, this is amazing.
Yeah, this is why this is why I say that it helps and I encourage it, but it's not like I'm going to be like, oh yeah, this is by as a result a worse product. Alpha Academy, one of the things that I wanted to find out is if I could actually make a series that was that was just as immersive or as well put together without voices in some form, and I guess Weather Pops will be kind of the same thing apart from the songs, which by the way I've said this before, but in case because there are new people here, at some point Weather Pops I'm not planning to be voice acted except for with how Eli does musical numbers. Then I'll have some people who are to do the singing, to be the singing voices of these specific pops in question, and maybe some of the villains too, depending on what villains I include and who sings for what.
Yeah, I'm all up for singing in any show. I like singing.
I know. Yes.
We love a good old musical number in a show. Even if it's not a full-on musical, it's nice to have a musical number.
Yeah, but yeah, we certainly do. Yeah. All right, I think that's a good place to wrap this up for the time being. Yeah.
I hope you enjoyed the part 2. Look forward to part 3 that may come out in a few months, a few years, or a decade. I'm kidding. It probably won't be a decade or a few years. Probably later this year, hopefully. Not later this year. Later, maybe early next year, or maybe later.
Okay, great.
Year.
By the way, I like this idea because of going with the mage route as well, because that's science and magic kind of working in tandem for the same goal. That's a good idea. That's a good angle.
I mean, you can always do alchemist as well. Alchemist is kind of like science and magic together.
I suppose, yes. Although necromancy, specifically dealing with dead people, kind of makes sense here. Anyway. So yeah, to those people who need a recap or a catch up of Fallen Angels, go check out the link that will be in the description right after I end the stream, so I can update it finally, and or just look up A and the Best, obviously, and catch up on the show. But But before you leave this place and do all that stuff, please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters. And subscribe done so already. And on that note, until next time, farewell.
Farewell. Caca.